What's up, everybody? It's Soren Baker here on Unique Access, and today we're joined by Bill Duke, the esteemed writer, director, and actor. Thank you for coming through, sir.
Good to be here.
Yes. So, Bill, you have done so much throughout your career, and one of the things that has been one of the hallmarks is your work with rappers. And recently, you just did the SVU with Ice-T.
Yes.
So, what drew you to that project?
I liked the show. I watched it for years. You know, Dick Wolf, and it's a great show, and I like Ice-T also, and the people that were on it, so we had a great time.
Mm-hmm. And with Ice-T, obviously he came from a career being a gangster rapper, and now he's a police officer on the show. So what do you think?
18th year, I think.
Yeah. So what do you think of his evolution going from being a gangster rapper into being a police officer?
I think it's a smart move. I think it's really done a great deal for his career.
Absolutely.
I think that the show is not just about police, it's about, special victims unit, so
Right.
It has some real depth to it, great writing. So I think it was a wise decision for him overall.
Yeah, and with the two show arc that you were on, you're involved in the legal system, of course, being a defendant, representing Brad Garrett, but also it talks a lot about the corruption within the police department in particular on those two episodes. So with that being said, that's very relevant to today's times and what's going on with a lot of police brutality and some of the social movements that have been going on. So when you get a type of script like that not only is well written and well conceived, but also has a lot of ties to what's going on right now, what extra does that mean to you as an actor?
Well, if you can be involved with your directing, producing, writing, or acting, that's something that's relevant, it's rewarding, because it's not just, topical stuff. I mean, it deals with issues that are relevant, and you're a part of it, and hopefully it gives insight into certain subject matters. And so it's what I like to do. I really enjoy good writing, because
Right.
it makes a big difference. And being able to tell stories these days, to really tell great stories is rare, unfortunately.
Right. Now let's take it back to one of your prominent things that you did several years ago with getting actually Dr. Dre and Snoop Dogg into the game as far as a collaborative team with Deep Cover that you directed. And they, of course, had the title track to the soundtrack and the title song. So when you were directing this film and getting it going, what made the Dr. Dre Snoop Doggy Dogg at the time, Snoop Doggy Dogg Deep Cover song, what made that the perfect match to go with the film?
Oh, at that time, in terms of rap music, those were two of the top guys. I mean, they were coming up, but they had substance to their music, etc., as Snoop always has, interesting, unique.
Right.
And I wanted a sound that was different, not just beats, but something that lyrics had some meaning. And when they did the song for Deep Cover and some of the other music for it, it kind of like, music for a film is important.
Right.
I mean, if you have a scene that's meaningful and the right music is there, it enriches the scene. And that's what I think their music did.
Right. And that song, of course, Rap, that was 1992 when the song and the film came out. And at that time, of course, there were a lot of things going on with Rodney King and different things. And the film and the song talked about an undercover cop, and Snoop in particular says 187 on undercover cop, talking about killing the cop. And there was, back then, unfortunately, it remains today, a lot of unrest, and especially in the black community with law enforcement. So with that song, when you were hearing it and hearing what Snoop was saying in that, what was your immediate emotional response?
I understood the feelings that he had, particularly at the time, because there were a lot of things going on in our streets where young men were being, particularly young men, black men, were being killed, and there are unfortunate parallels to today.
Right.
Some things have changed, some things have not. But those guys represented a voice at that time of the street.
Right.
And the frustration of the street at that particular time. So it was something that I think fit well with the film. And based upon the film itself, it came from a book called Deep Cover, which was written by a former DEA officer who was kicked out of the DEA. So. Right.
Now, on the flip side of that, probably your most memorable role in the rap world was in Menace II Society. And in that one, you're on the other side of the law. You're the one catching...
No, you done fucked up.
Exactly.
I'm sorry.
So with Menace II Society, you're on the other side of the law, and your famous line, you done fucked up. With that, why do you think that line took on kind of its own life?
I'm not quite sure. I think a lot of it had to do with, one of the things that those boys in the film did not have as a father. A lot of them,
Right.
And that authority figure of that particular police officer at that time, when I saw the film, reminded me of my dad. We tried to get over on him, and he would just look at us. You know what I mean? Because he would always say sometimes like, I'm not as dumb as you look.
Okay.
It's like, because we try to lie and be slick and cry and everything, and then he would say, yeah, go and get that switch.
So get yourself ready.
But he would listen.
Okay.
He would listen.
He'd let you tell your story.
Tell the whole story, yeah, keep going.
Get it out.
But that's really good. Go get that switch.
Now that Menace to Society, of course, is an iconic film in the rap world, in the urban community. And I think it also, MC8 had a huge role in there and was very important as AWACS. And then it also helped usher in the hood movie genre, as well as New Jack City, Boys in the Hood, of course. And this one kind of put the cherry on top, because this film with Menace to Society in particular was more violent, I would say, overtly than New Jack City or Boys in the Hood. So what do you think that adding that element of violence in a way that New Jack City and Boys in the Hood hadn't meant to what Menace to Society was?
Well, I think it told the truth.
Okay.
It told the truth about the streets and what was happening. And unfortunately, what continues to happen. The fighting over what is the question.
Right.
And the thing is that I think it told the truth, and I think the Hughes brothers were courageous in that sense, because they just put it right there in your face.
Right.
But I do think what I did like about the film, there are moments of compassion.
Right.
Because we write these kids off. We just do a lot of times. And the film didn't. It gave you insight in terms of their pain, their violence.
And perspective.
Yes, but their pain,
right,
they were going through, their confusion, whatever, but it gave you a deeper insight.
Right. Yeah, it's very powerful. And I think that's why the film resonated and continues to do so. And flipping the script, showing your versatility, you also directed Sister Act 2 with Lauryn Hill and appeared in it as well. But with that, totally switching gears, how was it being able to work and direct and collaborate with Lauryn Hill, which was totally different from Deep Cover, totally different from Menace to Society, but not too much after that, to do a totally different type of project and also be working with a rapper, with Lauryn Hill? Like, how does that work as far as switching what you're able to do and adjusting it accordingly?
Well, film is really specifically a specific discipline.
Right.
So whatever the subject matter is, if you can tell a story, no matter what the genre is,
right,
that's what the connecting force in terms of just the structure of film. Working with Lauryn and Sister Act 2 and Whoopi Goldberg,
right,
she was the foundation of it. Sister Act 1 had already occurred, had great success, but luckily I was asked to do Sister Act 2, and there was a foundation already set, and so I walked into the structure of that.
It's a good situation.
I think so.
Absolutely.
And working with Lauryn, I mean, I say brilliantly talented. She really is a genius, you know. She has great talent as a singer, as you know, but as an actress, she was able to make you feel.
Right.
I mean, for her and that character. And I think that's what made it identifiable for a lot of young people. They knew her through her experience on that film, you know.
Right.
And people still talk about that.